On January 28, 2025, one of Dreamworld's most iconic and beloved rides, the Claw, closed for good. We visited on the 27th, the final day that guests from the public were able to experience the beloved attraction to say our farewells. The park also held a separate event the morning after with some special VIP riders who were able to experience the final ride cycle before work dismantling the Claw began. The Claw originally opened on the 18th of September 2004, immediately becoming an iconic attraction for many thrill-seeking guests.
The Claw. Swing 9 stories high, spin 360 degrees, reach zero gravity. It's Australia's first, and it's tearing into Dreamworld.
Being located at the entrance to Ocean Parade, the Claw has always held a presence in the park. Being viewable from the main street, it's something that immediately leaves an impression. I never actually went on the ride because it was quite intimidating to me. I'm not much of a thrill seeker and I get terrible motion sickness, so unfortunately I tend to avoid anything that has me spinning in circles. But I have heard from many other people that it was a very fun ride with good forces and an overall enjoyable experience, which led it to become many people's favorite ride at the park. Ironically, it wasn't until it was actually about to close that I felt brave enough to get up close to the ride. I was surprised to see that the queue line actually featured some pretty cool, simple thematic elements which gave the ride a unique charm. For the longest time I thought the ride was actually themed to the tigers at Dreamworld, but it was actually themed to some kind of large monster. It's hard to imagine Dreamworld without the Claw, with its towering presence and kinetic energy. So what happens next? Well, thankfully, although the Claw is being removed, the space will be used for its successor, King Claw, an even larger, more up-to-date model of the same ride type, an Intamin gyro-swing. King Claw will be almost twice as large as the Claw at 27 meters, reaching heights of 42 meters, and reaching top speeds of up to 98 kilometers an hour. The ride will abandon the old, over-the-shoulder restraints of the past in favor of new, up-to-date lap bar restraints, which will give a much more freeing experience and make the airtime and forces even more enjoyable. King Claw will also feature a new ride theme. The ride will be themed to a mysterious Lovecraftian-style sea monster. Dreamworld already started dropping mysterious marketing promotional pieces around the Gold Coast area, such as enigmatic codes on pavements, which when you scan take you to a landing page with more information and backstory about the ride. This is what I'm personally most hyped for. After the amazing job that Dreamworld did with the theming for Rivertown, with the new Jungle Rush roller coaster, Murasaki Motors, and Jane's Rivertown restaurant, I'm extremely excited to see what they come up with for King Claw. I'm a massive literature fan and have enjoyed lots of Lovecraft stories over the years, and the tone and style of what we've seen so far for the Claw is really exciting. I think it'll give a great atmosphere to the park as a whole, but more importantly to Ocean Parade, which to me has always felt like a bit of a mishmash of conflicting ideas. This will definitely become the new centerpiece of the area, setting the tone and acting as a beacon for guests to see from all areas of the park. The same ride model exists as the iconic Loke at Liseberg in Sweden, which towers next to the coaster Boulder. You can already see the Claw when you arrive at the park. I'm really excited to see how it looks when it's complete. Dreamworld also did an incredible job integrating the new Dreamworld flyer into the park in 2024, which breathed new life into the entrance area and brought an awesome sense of kinetic energy and movement. I feel like King Claw will definitely do the same for Ocean Parade. I'd love to see them integrate the theming into more of the Ocean Parade area, maybe into some of the other rides like Shockwave. I feel like this would be a really cool opportunity for a thematic story interweaved throughout the whole area, maybe with some tentacles popping up, or a shipwreck or rockwork, maybe even some water features. King Claw is significantly larger than the original Claw ride, so I am curious to see how they integrate it into the area and how much space it will actually take up. I feel like having the presence of a new high-quality themed attraction into the area will kind of mean that they naturally have to do some more touches around Ocean Parade to bring it up to speed. Hopefully we'll see some additions like rockwork or thematic elements that fit the tone, such as a new quick food option, maybe fish and chips or fish chowder or something nautical. Maybe they'll even add some new character meet and greet opportunities, like mysterious figures who tell the backstory and lore of King Claw. I'm kind of getting the vibes of Nemesis, which features some simple street performances and interactions which do help build the lore and tone for the area. I'm also really excited to see what the queue line and overall experience looks like thematically. I hope that they feature some themed audio and effects, similar to what we see at Rivertown. Currently, as you pass into Ocean Parade, the music you hear is modern pop music and EDM type music, which I'm personally not a huge fan of because the rest of the park has a very classic atmosphere. Dreamworld was originally modeled after the Disney parks, and it was meant to have a timeless theme, and I feel like having this kind of music playing kind of takes away from that. As you enter the park, there's some nice jazzy type music, which I'm personally a huge fan of. That's actually the kind of music that I spend most of my time listening to, and they also play some music from other theme parks at the entrance, which is really cool. I do hope that they eventually maybe invest in some original music like they did for Rivertown. It's not a huge issue because tonally I think it fits the atmosphere of the park, but this is something I would love to see added in the future. I would love to see them create a unique soundtrack for King Claw, or maybe even just a soundscape that plays in the area. A good example of that would be something like Leviathan at SeaWorld. Although it doesn't have music as such, it does feature great themed audio in the queue experience. You've got the sound of water and it's kind of got this ethereal feeling. I'm not entirely sure what they used for that, but that was very cool thematically. So something like that would be really nice. In terms of music, the kind of soundtrack that comes to mind for me would be maybe an ominous synthesizer score, like a John Carpenter type vibe, or maybe more of a classic monster movie type soundtrack. Some other cool themed audio they could feature in the area would be the sound of waves and wind and other things like chains and other nautical thingies maybe rattling around, and like the distant sound of a King Claw monster, whatever it is, like a kraken or some sea monster, like screeching under the water. When I see what they've teased so far, I really get the vibe of one of those old school seaside town horror movies, like John Carpenter or something like Lovecraftian, like The Fog, or like Jaws, or like The Creature from the Black Lagoon, like just like a classic vibe like that, which I really think is a smart idea for the park if they are going for this timeless vibe. I also think it would be super cool if they featured some story elements in the ride experience, like maybe a pre-show like the one on Leviathan at SeaWorld, or even just something that plays on some screens in the line. I get super excited just theory crafting and fantasizing about all the possibilities because I am a creative person myself and I find this stuff fascinating, probably more than the actual experience of going to the parks, which is unusual, but that's where I get my enjoyment from. I love theming, so I'd love to see like a pre-show, maybe if you even went into some building and they play like the history of the monster on like a projector screen or something. I think that would be really awesome. But after all, these rides are more designed to be like people eaters in the park, just due to the amount of guests that you can actually fit on the ride. So I don't imagine they would feature something like that, but I can dream. King Claw is set to open in late 2025, so I've got plenty of time to try and work up the courage to ride it when it opens. I'll stock up on motion sickness pills, and I'll be reading lots of Lovecraftian stories and watching lots of monster movies to try and get in the mood. Will I ride it? I can't make any promises. I would like to say that I'll ride it, but I'm pretty scared of these things. I'm not crazy about thrills. I'm interested to hear your thoughts for King Claw. Are you excited? What kind of additions would you like to see to the Ocean Parade area and Dreamworld as a whole to accommodate the new addition? Will you be riding it when it opens? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more updates and content like this, feel free to like and subscribe for more. I'll be covering the progress of the demolition of the Claw, as well as the construction for King Claw, so stay tuned. I'll also be covering updates for other Australian theme parks in 2025. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you to all the subscribers, and if you would like to support the channel, you can just leave a friendly comment or like and subscribe. If you made it this far, comment King Claw in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.